I'm John Hayden, and let's queer up trans rights. Kansas revokes trans IDs, forcing residents to flee the state amid sweeping anti-trans laws. Some trans residents in Kansas are reportedly leaving the state after more than 1,700 driver's licenses were revoked under a sweeping new law. State officials issued letters ordering thousands to surrender their driver's licenses following the passage of a new law requiring access to restricting access to public bathrooms and locker rooms to be based on birth sex. The law also allows residents to file lawsuits against individuals which they believe are not conforming to the indicated gender in those spaces. The Kansas Division of Vehicles told affected residents that their licenses were immediately invalid and must be replaced with ones reflecting their birth sex. Those who continue driving risk additional penalties, fines up to $1,000, and maybe jail time. Trans Kansan Jalen Aberg says she plans to leave the state rather than comply, telling NBC News, quote, "It's a continuation of the message that the legislature has been sending out for years now, that transgender people are not welcome in Florida." For the trans community, the legal challenges are ongoing, with civil rights groups arguing the law violates personal freedoms and dignity. Because of course it does. This is, and I've said this on this show before, I think with you here, Faye, is that this is the most vile way to make someone feel lesser than, because you can avoid the row of Baptist churches in your town. You can avoid, the racist grocery store with the Confederate flag out of it. But this is a government agency coming to your home with legal mail and saying you are not, you are less than. And that's what makes these particular laws completely, absolutely vile.
It's disgusting. And you said Florida by mistake, right? And it's Kansas, but that could be, you know what I mean? We're there also. You understand? Yeah. That's why I didn't even flinch when he said Florida. Yeah. You know what I mean? Let's call this what it is. Government overreach with a side of freaking cruelty. That's basically what it is. Taking away IDs from trans people doesn't protect anyone. It just makes daily life harder and more dangerous for these people. You're literally not giving people the ability to go work, to drive legally. So you want them driving illegally so you can pull them over and then put them in jail. I mean, this is effed up 100%.
Exactly. The way that they're implementing this, forget that it's just a horribly immoral thing to do. But let's just say that you could find some moral grounds for this, right? The right thing then would be when your license renewal comes up, that you would have to go in anyways to get another license. But to say immediately, now you can't drive.
That's it.
People have to go to work. They have children to support. Exactly. They have families. So, I mean, that in itself, I just can't even imagine how this would stand legally if this is challenged, because I don't know if it's been challenged yet.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's just unnecessarily cruel to do that. But I think the larger issue is that they're doing this with IDs to somehow figure out how to make their votes invalid in the next election. Because we just saw this month, 1,700, 2 or 3, 5, 10, doesn't swing an election. 1,700 can swing an election.
100%.
And Kansas is one of those states that it's normally red, but there's signs of it, like when the abortion bill came out, that, voted, they kind of went a little bit more liberal with that. So it's like maybe there's signs. I haven't seen the demographics on it yet or the statistics, but maybe Kansas is one of those states that might be voting blue. And so they're trying to find every way. And maybe if it works, or maybe it's not, and maybe they're testing. If it works there, let's try it in Florida. Let's try it in another. We can
try it in Texas.
Exactly. We can try this. So I do think that the ID portion of it really has to do with elections in the midterms.
Wow. Well, there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.